In the last video, we tried the brand new Ohuhu Mandala and Animals Coloring Book, and it was not great. I left that video with questions that needed answering. So like any responsible artist, I went and I purchased this. What's going on YouTube? My name is ADC Art Attack, his name is Bob, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Professional Artist versus a Children's Coloring Book. This is the YouTube series where I, ADC Art Attack, take children's coloring books and attempt to color them in a professional style. So I think before we actually go any further, we should crack open this pack because inside here are all, yes, every single one, I bought them, of Ohuhu's coloring books. You ever get really nervous, like you just wasted your money? That's where I am. All right, so I can't see anything because the lights are glaring and reflecting off of the plastic. Where's my knife? Every time. Oh, just make it peely. I don't want to keep having to use a knife. Try my best not to look at the front covers here. I don't want to see what they are. Kids, if you are watching this, get your parents' help to open up this. I never thought I'd have to say that in a coloring book video, but these coloring books require parental assistance to open. Okay, here we go. So we've got some books here. So starting with the Mandala and Animals coloring book. This one featured in the previous video, but there were many questions and actually some people gave me some answers as well. So we'll get on with that in a moment. For now, Mandala and Animals. I didn't really like it. Okay, so this is a food book, I guess. Oh, this is just cake. Nah, man. No, I'm gonna ignore, ignore me for now. I mean, this could be a fun book to color, to be honest. I think this one's actually a bit more of what I would expect. I like the artwork in here. It's a pretty nice, what is that? Kind of like the idea going there. Yeah, My Simple Pleasure. So this is a, what? Okay, I didn't expect, I don't know what this is. This was like a kid's coloring book. Why is that such bad quality? Okay, there's something off with the quality here. It's like a very faded page. Oh, so is this one. So is this, wait, what? Hang on. This is probably not visible on the camera, but the images on the, I guess, front are faded. Like the printer was running out of ink. It's probably very hard for you to see this on the camera, the difference, but it is there. No, I don't like this one. This is, hello. We actually have, wait, where is this? Are you what? Okay, I'm sorry. This right here is the Mandala and Animals coloring book. This right here is this Simple Things book, whatever that means. There is more mandala in this book than there is, what is that? There's like no mandala in this book. Oh, you gotta be joking me. This one's just an extensive, this is basically just a mandala coloring book. I don't get the point of this one. Portraits of Joy. Okay, this one actually looks kind of cool. Let's have a look. Oh, we're getting somewhere. This looks pretty good. Oh yeah, okay. Now this is definitely, yeah, I'm happy. I like it, it's not so bad. Okay, so why did I buy these 4 books? You're probably wondering, and that's a valid question. Well, in the last video, I had many questions, and one of the biggest questions that I had was in regards to the paper. If we look back, I wasn't exactly nice about the paper. Now, I'm not gonna criticize this too much. I don't like that.
I like it.
But it'd be nice to be able to blend.
You're so judgy.
Do you not feel like it's very slippery, the surface? I don't like that. No, come on, what? Oh, so this is a lie then, this whole book is a lie. But somebody did raise a very interesting point, and perhaps maybe the paper was specific to this style of coloring book. It was supposed to be mandala after all, so perhaps blending wasn't the style they wanted you to go for, so the paper reflected what they actually wanted. And I can tell you right now, nope. Yeah, so all of the paper here is identical. I don't even have to, you know, give it a try. Let me show you why I'm not happy. This right here is the Ohuhu marker pad. It's a double-sided bleed-proof marker paper. This is their double-sided coloring book. Now, the marker pad I've actually used in a video, and in that video, the marker pad works perfect. The paper feels fantastic, it has the right amount of tooth to it, it absorbs beautifully, it is not too smooth, and most importantly, the markers do not bleed through to the other side. Fast forward to this thing. There are a couple of claims about this coloring book that do stand up. Yes, it is bleed proof. Yes, it is double-sided. But for some reason, this coloring book utilizes an extremely high gloss paper that is slippery and very difficult to use. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why they didn't use this paper in this coloring book. They had a perfect formula, and for some reason, they went somewhere else. Now, I am going to be using the books in today's video. In fact, I'm going to be using all of the books except for this one. Come on, guys, I already used it last video. Want to see it? Go check it out. But I will be using all three of these in a very different way. Now, another question that I had in my previous video was perhaps maybe this paper was designed for coloring pencils. Now, it doesn't say anything anywhere about this being specifically for pencils or markers, but maybe that is where the strength, oh come on, who are we kidding? It's high gloss paper. How are pencils gonna work on that? So to start things off, I'm gonna be using the incredible Faber-Castell pencils. And the reason I'm using such high quality pencils today is because I don't wanna hear any excuses that maybe I used the wrong pencils. I expect the best from Ohuhu and I demand the best. And as for the coloring page, I will choose the first one. Yeah, I mean, this whole book is about cake and I love cake, so I don't really care which cake I get to color. Cake. Okay, you gotta be kidding me. This may be the worst paper I've ever used. Trying to use pencils on this, it's kind of like coloring on plastic. Somehow, this paper has managed to make these super expensive and professional grade pencils perform like those cheap things you would get as part of a children's coloring set. I don't know how much more I can take of this. Look, I love Ohuhu, and I don't want this video to just be me bashing them for the sake of it. I'm actually doing this because I want to push them to make some changes here. Is this paper the worst paper I have ever used? Absolutely not. That's a ridiculous claim. But in the context of what this product is, in the context of the brand that we are using, it's pretty bad. I mean, if we just look at the reflective glare as well, this isn't typical. And again, I go back to this pad. Ohuhu have one of the best papers on the market, literally made for markers, which is the whole point of this thing. So I can't, for the life of me, understand why they haven't just chosen to use that paper. It's a more versatile paper. It allows for pencils, it allows for markers, it allows for me. This thing isn't enjoyable. So I guess the question is, am I overreacting here? Am I taking this too far? Maybe. But I'm doing it in love. I'm criticizing it heavily in love because of my expectations for Ohuhu being so high. If this were just a generic product, would I hate it as much? I can appreciate that the quality of the paper is actually very high. It is a thick paper, it is very smooth, and it doesn't bleed. But contrast to that, it doesn't work very well with markers. And what I mean by that is it doesn't allow for any blending and it is super slippery. But it can layer colors very well and the colors appear beautiful on the surface. Arguably one of the best that I've seen colors appear on paper. And actually, the more that I'm using this paper, the more I'm getting familiar with it and I'm adjusting to it, and the pencils don't feel as bad. Doesn't feel good, I'm just adapting. But there is zero coverage here with these pencils, and you know what? No! Try as hard as I might, the layering of these pencils is not working on this paper. And if somebody is gonna go into the comments and say to me there are different types of pencils you should be using for this paper, then I'm just gonna say right now, I don't want to hear it. When we're buying a coloring book, we want something that is easy to use. That is the point of a coloring book, to be accessible to all. It shouldn't require us jumping through hoops, doing research, and trying to figure out the best things that we should be using in those books. I have used a variety of tools, from the Ohuhu markers to the coloring pencils, and I'm about to be using some very high quality markers in these books. And I am one of the few people who are privileged enough to have access to a wide range of materials and mediums. Most people who buy coloring books don't have that. So if they're unfortunate enough to not have the right tools to be able to use this book, then I consider it a bad product. But with that all being said, let's use one of the most high quality markers on the market. Now, if these don't work, then we have a problem. Okay, so this should be good. But I'm switching from Cake to one of the other books. Not that that makes much of a difference, but for variety, why not? and I've chosen this pretty simple image. The reason I've gone with such a basic image is I plan to color this very flat to begin with. I want to test the markers in the area I believe the book wants you to color. Solid colors with no blending. Fun. With touch being one of the best markers on the market, we should be achieving perfectly even coverage with beautiful colors and most importantly, no bleeding. And it's all right. But no, seriously, the colors on this paper do look very pretty. They are vivid and true. Though this is mostly due to the markers, I'll credit the paper. Oh, hang on a minute. No, there's no way. The markers are bleeding. Well, I feel lied to. Okay, I won't put this down as a negative and say that this paper is not bleed proof. It's the only area this has happened to, so maybe there is some kind of excuse for it. But overall, it does look very nice and clean. So markers, if you are planning to do a pretty boring style of coloring, they work. Okay, so there is one more final test that I want to do, and that is the combination of markers and colored pencils. Yes! Yes! Finally! Finally we have success! Finally we have some success. Yes, the pencils are actually working with this method. Now again, the pencils themselves aren't doing anything differently. The only major difference here is that the base is covered, so the white areas that would be visible between the coloring pencils is no longer visible. But the added texture of the pencils, which is something I do love, actually works very well with this method, and I think it looks great. The previous issues are still there. We aren't getting that deep coverage that I would like, nor are the pencils true to the colors they are meant to be because we can't get the coverage. So they appear slightly lighter and the layering on the pencils just really is non-existent. But overall, I'm actually really happy with the way it looks combining the markers and pencils. It is rough, it is organic, and for a coloring book, it's acceptable. It's not great, but I'm happy. I'll take anything at this point. Now, before we close off, I just want to finish up with one more method, and that is what we did in the previous video. Only this time I'm using the very expensive touch markers. I'm finishing off the hair and the balloons using these markers just for a contrast to see what they look like on this paper. I don't want to start a whole new coloring here as this experience has not been the best and it's not been the most enjoyable, but it isn't working too bad with these markers. It's again not perfect and I am quite upset that we can't really do anything other than, well, solid colors. But I guess if that is what the paper demands of you and that is what this is meant for, can I label it a bad product? Because the front covers of all of these books actually demonstrate very simplistic coloring methods, including a little bit of cell shading on this one. So if you are an artist who's interested in doing very basic coloring and you want something just to preoccupy your mind, this is a great product for you. I actually think that this does work very well. The results are pretty if you use a basic coloring style. But as a creative person and somebody who wishes to go beyond the lines and to do more with the images that they are provided within these books, your options are very limited. But the line works in these books is actually quite beautiful, but there is a serious issue with quality control. From the way that these pages are cut, to some of the artwork being upside down, to some of the ink actually being faded, and of course, the paper. I want to give a big thank you to all of you for watching today's video, and to remind you, if you would like to get my own coloring book, which is releasing very soon, there will be a link down below in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment for you to sign up to the email list. The book is about to be released. So, to make sure you don't miss that release, get signing. And you're also gonna get some of these, which is part of it, which is pretty nice. And if you do pick up one of these Ohuhu coloring books, I am very interested to read your thoughts about these books down below in the comments section. And of course, please do provide your feedback to Ohuhu. They read our comments, they check out the comments, so please do let them know what you think and what you think they can do to improve it, because I want them to improve. I like Ohuhu. They just, in my opinion, dropped the ball on this one. Bye-bye.